Welcome back. Today, we've got some exciting developments to talk about: major investments, big acquisitions, and surprise earnings reports. Let's dive into the stocks grabbing attention on March 17th.
Exactly. We've got a pretty full slate today, everything from banking to pharma. So buckle up. Let's kick things off with IndusInd Bank.
IndusInd Bank, huh? So, what's got them in the spotlight?
Well, the RBI is saying they're well capitalized and financially sound, which is always good news. They've got a strong capital adequacy ratio and their liquidity coverage ratio exceeds requirements. Plus, they're working on some system improvements.
Okay, so solid financials and some operational tweaks. Sounds like they're proactively addressing things, which is a positive sign. Let's move on to the next one.
Next up, we've got Infosys.
Infosys, I think I read something about a settlement.
Yeah, they've reached an agreement in principle to settle those class action lawsuits related to the McCamish cyber incident. It looks like McCamish is going to pay out $15.5 million. It is contingent on confirmation and court approval, of course.
Okay, settling the lawsuit could remove uncertainty. What's next?
Next on our list is Wipro.
Okay, I think I saw something about realignment. What exactly is going on there?
They are realigning their global business lines effective April 1st, aiming to align better with client needs. They're sticking with 4 GBLs and there's been a managing partner appointment.
Okay, so a bit of a shake-up at the top. Makes sense. Moving on to Kulta Pichil Developers. I don't know much about them.
They've received a public announcement regarding an open offer from BRP Asia 3 India Holding Co. 7 PTE. It's for a pretty significant chunk of equity shares, around 26%.
So a potential takeover or at least a significant investment. What's the deal with Tata Motors?
Tata Motors is planning to appoint Deloitte as their statutory auditors from FY 2027-28. BSR and Co. LLP will continue until then.
All right, new auditors on the horizon. Shifting gears here to Capit Technologies.
They've amended their joint venture agreement with ZF Friedrichshafen AG and Qualcomm Ventures LLC for Corix GmbH. Qualcomm Ventures is now a shareholder.
Qualcomm getting involved sounds interesting. Next up is Muthoot Finance Limited.
Muthoot Finance's gold loan assets under management have crossed a huge milestone, a whopping 1 lakh crore rupees. Shows they're doing something right.
Wow, that's huge. Demonstrates a lot of trust from their customers. Now, let's talk about Zydus Life Sciences Limited.
Zydus got final US FDA approval for their aloxadoline tablets for IBS-D treatment. They also get that sweet 180 days of shared generic drug exclusivity.
Exclusive rights and a clean FDA inspection sounds like a good day for them. Let's move to Dalmia Bharat Limited.
They've commenced commercial production at their new cement grinding unit in Assam. It's part of a larger investment plan to strengthen their market presence in the Northeast.
Expanding capacity in a key region. Okay, next we have KEC International Ltd. What's happening with them?
KEC International secured new orders worth over 1,267 crore rupees across various businesses. That's transmission, distribution, cables, the whole shebang.
Diversified orders, that's always a good sign. Let's jump over to Brigade Group.
Brigade Group launched a new residential project in Bangalore, Brigade Eternia, and Ebony at Brigade Orchards. So, expansion and new ventures in the real estate space.
Launching new projects in a hot market like Bangalore sounds like a smart move.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about Oberoi Realty Limited.
Oberoi Realty, didn't they just open a new mall or something?
You're spot on. They opened Sky City Mall in Borivali East, Mumbai. Big leasable area, part of a huge mixed-use development.
New mall in Mumbai, prime location. And what's the story with GMR Airports Limited?
GMR handled over 1.01 crore passengers across their airports in February 2025, a 12.9% year-on-year increase. Both Delhi and Hyderabad airports saw significant growth.
Impressive growth numbers. Okay, Quality Power Electrical Equipments Limited is next.
They had a stellar Q3 FY25 with record EBITDA and PAT margins. Plus, they're acquiring a stake in Meru Electrical Mechanical Engineers. Looks like they're on an upward trajectory.
So solid earnings and strategic acquisitions. Good for them. What about Laurus Labs Limited?
Laurus Labs has completed an equity investment in KRKA Pharma Private Limited. It's a strategic investment in their joint venture.
Injecting capital into a JV sounds like they're doubling down on that partnership.
Exactly. Now, Edelweiss Financial Services Limited.
I think I saw something about an FI in the news.
Yeah, they're addressing a media report about an FIR filed by Ecstasy Realty. Edelweiss is saying it's a civil dispute and denying any impropriety.
Okay, so addressing potential legal issues head on. Next up, Power Grid.
Power Grid has approved investments for 2 new projects to facilitate power evacuation and enhance transmission infrastructure.
Keeping the power flowing, literally. And Gujarat State Petronet Ltd.
They received PNGRB approval for a capacity expansion of their high pressure Gujarat gas grid. Big expansion, more capacity.
Expanding gas infrastructure, that's a long-term play. What's up with Mahindra and Mahindra Limited?
Fifth Gear Ventures Limited is no longer a subsidiary due to a merger with Mahindra First Choice Wheels Limited. Streamlining the structure.
Streamlining operations makes sense. Let's move on to JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals Limited.
Their API manufacturing facility in Gujarat had a successful US FDA inspection with no Form 483s. Maintaining those quality standards.
Always a relief when those inspections go smoothly. Computer Age Management Services, CAMPS, is next.
CAMPS Insurance Repository Services Limited signed an agreement with LIC. LIC will issue policies electronically through e-insurance accounts with CAMPS Rep.
So digitizing insurance policies makes sense in this day and age. Yes, Bank?
Cess Bank launched a seamless GST payment facility authorized by the Government of India, simplifying tax payments for businesses.
Making tax payments easier is always a win. And Strides Pharma Science Limited.
SPG plans to acquire 100% stake in Amexcel Pte. Ltd. Singapore. Sounds like they're expanding their reach in the pharmaceutical space.
Let's check out Camlin Fine Sciences Limited.
CFSL is updating on their acquisition of a majority stake in WinPi SA. It's a complex transaction involving shares and cash.
Navigating cross-border deals, always interesting. What's new with Apollo Hospitals Enterprise Limited?
They received the remaining consideration amount from Rasmali Limited, completing the second tranche of investment into Apollo Healthco Limited. Big money moving there.
A significant investment completed. Alchem Laboratories Limited.
Alchem Medtech is finalizing the acquisition of 100% stake in Bombay Ortho Industries. They're expanding their presence in the medical technology sector.
Diversifying into medical tech. What's the latest on Jana Small Finance Bank Limited?
ICRA upgraded and then withdrew their credit rating on subordinated debt. Shows improved performance, but they're also handling it themselves now.
Self-managing ratings. Nazara Technologies Limited.
The timeline for Nodwin Gaming's acquisition of AFK Gaming has been extended. These things sometimes take time, you know.
Deals getting pushed back is pretty common.
It really is. L&T Finance Limited.
L&T Finance received a CRISIL ESG rating of 68, which is considered strong. Good for them for focusing on sustainability.
Absolutely. Now, EMS Limited.
They got their credit ratings upgraded by CRISIL. Always good when your financial standing improves.
For sure. That brings us to Galaxy Surfactants Limited.
Looks like they declared an interim dividend. Always makes shareholders happy.
It does. Finally, we have Dodla Dairy Limited.
Dodla Dairy, what's their news?
They had a favorable order from the Andhra Pradesh High Court regarding GST classification of flavored milk. They are even getting a refund.
Winning a GST battle, that's not something you hear every day. Now, what about LG Equipments Limited?
They received a notice from the Uttarakhand SGST department regarding a penalty for a delivery address mismatch. I mean, talk about being on the hook.
Penalty notices aren't fun. Well, that's quite the roundup. I think we covered a lot of ground today, from banking and tech to cement and dairy. Before we wrap up, it's important to remember, disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Absolutely. It's always good to do your homework before making any moves. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back tomorrow with more stocks to watch.
Until next time, happy investing.